at how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, it's like glassy lips. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're wondering if I changed my shirt to make it look like that I filmed 2 videos in 2 separate days, then you would be wrong. No, I did not do that at all. I did not throw on my husband's sweatshirt just to make it look like I filmed this video on a different day that I filmed another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I created this very fresh face summer makeup. It's definitely not like a heavy makeup look at all. It's just very fresh face, just for those days that we just want to look awake and we want to look dewy and fresh, but we don't want to feel really heavy. Maybe some days that we're going to be out and about going to a festival, or we're just going to be outdoors all day, or whatever it may be, and it's going to be hot and we don't want to feel like we have a bunch of makeup on our face, but we still want to look done up, but we don't want to, I don't know. I just feel like summer is such a perfect time for like that fresh face look. So if you want to see how I created this glowy, dewiness here, then let's just get right into it. Alright, so starting off, since we are going into summer, I highly recommend starting off with some sunscreen. So whether that is a moisturizer with sunscreen in it, which I like to use the Perfect World from Origins, and I have normal to dry skin. I find it to be very hydrating. I'm also sensitive, and the SPF in it hasn't irritated me, which a lot of times I do have issues with SPFs irritating me, and so that is a great option. Or if you are happy with your moisturizer and you just need to add a sunscreen into your routine, the Supergoop has this Unseen Sunscreen SPF 40, and it's a primer, so it goes on right before your makeup. So perfect options. Supergoop actually also has a spray-on sunscreen that's like, it's literally a setting spray for your makeup, and that one has an SPF of 40 or 50 if I remember correctly. And that one's great because you can spray it throughout the day, because really you're supposed to reapply your SPF every 2 hours. So starting off, I'm going to be just applying some lip balm. This is the Fresh Sugar Dream Advanced Therapy Sheer Pink Lip Treatment. I slept with my makeup on last night like a freaking idiot. I was just so tired and a little bit emotionally worn down, and I was just like, hello bed, here I am for you. Well, I have already like cleansed and moisturized and prepped my skin, so I'm ready to just hop right into it. So for fresh face makeup, whenever I think of fresh face makeup, I think of like glowy and lightweight and low maintenance as well. I feel like, especially as we're going into summer and it's going to be really hot outside, we don't want a ton of heavy product on our face. So I say avoid powders as much as possible. Use as much liquids and creams as possible. They're going to be a lot more lightweight. They'll be easier to blend out throughout the day, like as things start to get patchy. With powders, you can't really blend them out. With creams, you can kind of just take a sponge and kind of press them back into place, and most of the time they're a little bit easier to work with if they start moving around throughout the day. So I do say try to avoid powder as much as possible, but of course it does depend on your skin type and your specific skin concerns. So alright, so first I'm going to take the Josie Maran Argan Moonstone Drops. This is a makeup priming and highlighting oil is what it's called, and make sure you shake this up really well, because if you don't, all of the glow that you're using it for gets stuck to the bottom, and it is so pretty. Look at that. Looks like a pearl. So I'm just gonna drop that onto my fingers. About 3 drops. See how I like that. I'm just gonna press that all over the skin. I freaking love the smell of argan oil. It smells so good. I want my whole house to smell like these drops. I'm gonna take just like one more little drop. Press that around my forehead area. Bring it down. And I highly recommend that if you're going to bring a lot of glow onto the face, and then you're going to be wearing things that show a lot of skin, like tank tops and short shorts and stuff like that, that you bring a little bit of glow all over the body. So like the Fenty Body Lava that everybody's dying over right now would be a great thing, or just some kind of liquid shimmer or liquid bronze or highlight or something like that that you can bring all over your body. That will really help, because it just looks a little bit out of place if just your face is like super glowy and then the rest of your body is just flat, you know what I'm saying? Now I got a little bit more glow going on and a little bit more hydration. So this is exactly what I did in my Get Ready With Me video that I did with my friend Alvina, which if it's up, I will link it right here so that you guys can hop on over there and watch it. It's very fun. Did a little bit of vlogging because we did a photo shoot right after filming the video, and so I kind of got to vlog us doing the photo shoot and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. So hop on over there when you're done with this video. So I'm going to be taking the NYX Total Control Cover Drops, and I chose this foundation for this video because I really like how customizable the coverage is, like depending on how many drops you use, of course, it depends on how much coverage you're going to get. And so I just start with a little bit, and my cat needs to calm down, but she just got into her chair. I have this little chair in my studio, and she always gets into it and she'll just cuddle up and go to sleep, and it's so cute. So she just got into her chair, so she's probably not going to be making any more noise. Anyways, I'm just going to take this foundation on my BH Cosmetics 123 brush. I have been loving this brush. It's like my favorite for foundation because I feel like it just buffs it in so well. And I'm gonna start in the center of the face to preserve as much coverage right there as possible. And then blending it out towards the rest of my face, whatever is left over on my brush. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so excited because me and my friends are going on a trip. Me, my husband, and my friends. Not far, it's just like a, I think, 3 or 4 hour drive just up to Oklahoma, where there's like this cabin, and we're gonna be there for a couple nights, and we'll be there for like 3 days, and then 2 nights. So it's just like a little weekend trip, but I'm so excited because I'm gonna be vlogging it for the first time. Oh my gosh, my cat's trying to get up here. Alright, if you notice the lighting change, it's because I changed my settings. So, I wanted it to be a little bit brighter. So, I'm just gonna build that foundation up just a smidge more in the center here. I'm going for more of a medium coverage. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about vlogging. Yeah, so I'm gonna be vlogging our little weekend away. We're gonna get like a nice little cabin. Gonna hang out on the beach. Well, it's a lake, but there's a beach. We're gonna go swimming, you know, whatever. It's nothing super fancy, but it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm super excited about it. Whenever that video is up, I will link it right here, that little vloggy vlog right here, so that you guys can see it if you're interested. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Laura Mercier, this is the Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer, and I have the shade 1C, which is a little bit, like it's not going to be any brighter than my skin tone, and it's slightly pinker, so it makes a good color corrector for me. So I'm just going to apply that onto my under eyes. And then I'm going to blend that in with my BH Cosmetics 128 brush. It's all about using as minimal product as possible, because the more product that you put on, the more likely it is to move around and cake up and everything like that. So the less product you put on, the less product you have to put on, because then you don't have to put on like powder and all this other stuff to make it stay in place, you know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna be putting powder on, but like I'm talking about like baking and stuff like that. So okay, so then I like to take, and this is not absolutely necessary, but I just like the effect that it gives. I'm going to take this e.l.f. It's a highlight and concealer duo, and I'm going to take the highlight side, and I'm just going to apply that onto my inner corners and quickly blend it in, otherwise it sets. I just really like the brightness that it gives. Just really brings some light reflection into that inner corner. You see it? And of course, if you have a darker skin tone, you would want to go with something maybe a little bit more gold toned or whatever suits your undertone. Maybe you're a little bit more on the red side, and if so, you'd want to go with something more pink toned. But this one is basically white, so it fits me perfectly. So I'm not going to worry about bringing that all the way out here, because I am going to be applying highlight in this area, and I'm going to blend it up onto like my eye area here. So I'm not going to worry about that quite yet, because that'll already bring it kind of around that area on its own. So now I'm just going to set my eyes with a little bit of powder. I'm not baking or anything like that. Just using a little bit of powder just to set everything in place. Like some people can get away with wearing no powder underneath their eyes. I am not that person. But I'm just applying as minimal product as possible. Okay, so now that we're all pretty evened out, I'm going to start layering on top, and I'm going to continue to use creams as much as possible. I'm going to start with a little bit of cream contouring, and I'm just going to take my Kevyn Aucoin The Contour Book Volume 2, and I'm going to take the sculpting cream right here. I never use cream contour. Where'd my little sculpting brush go? Okay, so I'm going to take the BH Cosmetics 127 brush. It's just like a flat angled brush right here, and I'm just going to pick up that sculpting cream and apply that into the natural hollows of my cheeks. Kind of blend it upwards a little bit. Bringing that around just in all the places where I would normally kind of bronze and contour. I'm going to bring a smidge down the sides of the nose. With cream contouring, it's really about using a small amount of product at a time and slowly building it up. Don't get too excited. You can go overboard really fast. And just kind of anchoring it underneath that jawline and pulling it downwards. And if this is too much for you, you could totally just use a powder bronzer, that's fine. I'm going to take the contour brush from Real Techniques, and I'm going to see how I like this. I may want to blend this in with a beauty blender, but I'm going to try to blend it in with a brush first. Just doing little circular motions. Oh yes, I really like that color. I'm kind of pulling it up onto the cheekbone a little bit. Let's blend out the forehead area. And then taking that down the sides of the nose. And I'm pulling down away from that line that I created with the contour. I'm just going to take my beauty sponge and blend over that a little bit. Just really soften it. The thing that I hate most is a obvious nose contour. Actually, let me just take my foundation brush and blend over that. Nice and contoured. I just want to bring a little bit more, like I want to intensify my contour in this cheek region here. I like to apply it with one brush and then blend it out with another brush so that it doesn't get out of hand. Because whenever you go in to blend it in with another brush, rather than blending it in with the brush that you use to apply it, the second brush doesn't have any product on it, so you're just working with the product that's already on the skin and blending that out rather than adding more product as you're trying to blend it in, and that's how things really get out of hand. I do think that cream contouring is really great for people who get breakouts on the cheek area because you don't get as much clinging to those breakouts as you do with powder. You know how sometimes blending over those breakouts can make it look really patchy if you're using a powder? With creams, I find that, of course it depends on the product that you're using, but for the most part, they go on a lot more evenly because they have a little bit of that slip to them. I just feel like it goes on a lot more evenly because I do have a few breakouts right here and I'm not getting any patchiness whatsoever. So then on my jawline, I'm just going to pull down from where I placed that contour and take my foundation brush just to blend that in. That's a really good trick as well, as using your foundation brush to kind of go over the contour just to kind of melt it in with the rest of the face, because whatever product is left over on your brush will kind of blend into that, and then it just makes everything look really nice and cohesive. So I think I'm gonna stop there. You can add more, you can do less, always customize it to your preferences, but I'm gonna move on. So I like to do my highlight before I do my blush, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and today I'm gonna be using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Soft Light liquid highlighter, and this is in the shade 20. It has a little bit of a pink undertone. Another great option would be the Perricone MD if you want like a really nice soft and natural highlight. The Perricone MD no highlighter I've been reaching for a lot on a daily basis, but I do want a little bit more glow today, so I'm going to go in with this guy. Both of them are liquid. I like to use my sponge to apply this, and I'm just going to pop that right on the tops of the cheekbones onto the brow bone area. I just love how it adds like the perfect wet glow to the skin, and it doesn't look like really shimmery. It just looks so natural. Now I'm going to take that on the smaller side of my sponge and just bring that down the center of the nose, wherever you want your highlight. Cupid's bow and chin. All right, and then lastly, I am gonna do a powder blush, and that is just because I don't think I own a cream blush. Let me double check. Yeah, I don't think I own a cream blush, so I'm just gonna use the Sarafine Botanicals. I got this in my Ipsy Glam bag, and this is in the shade Happy Hibiscus. It's vegan, GMO-free, and gluten-free, and I wanted just a really natural-looking flush, so I'm gonna take that on this little Lisa Frank blush brush that I have here. I'm just going to take a small amount of that and blend that right over very, very lightly, kind of right in between that highlight and the bronzer. I'm a huge, huge blush person. If you're not, you could totally just skip this part, but I love some blush. See, this is why I like to apply my highlight first, because then I put my blush on top of it and it looks like this glow from within, rather than it being like just like a white or a pink stripe on top. Oh, what? I'm glowing? What? I am? What? Oh, I didn't know. That's what it looks like. Alrighty then. So moving on to the brows, I am going to first start with a brow gel because I like to do a really nice and feathery brow so that we don't have to worry about the product wearing off. If it does wear off, it'll wear off a lot more naturally since it's more of a feathered brow rather than like a solid dramatic block brow, and we'll just go with the rest of the look. So I'm going to take the Dior, this is the Brow Styler Gel in the shade number 3 Brown. I'm just going to run that all through my brows. Okay, so before I do the rest of the filling in for my brows, I like to let my brow gel dry completely so that way I'm not smudging the gel through my brows. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to do my eyes, and then I'll go back and finish off the brows. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Too Faced, I have this little guy, it's their 24-hour Shadow Insurance. This is just a little eye primer. I'm just gonna apply that all over. Alright, so I like to keep it pretty light in terms of eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna take, this is my Smashbox Shape Matters palette, and I'm gonna take this little guy right here, just kind of like a warm tone nude shade, and I'm just gonna pop that right into the crease, just to give my eyes a little bit of definition. Nothing super, super heavy. Oh, and I was applying that with the Morphe M513 brush, and now I'm just gonna take, this is a random Toni & Guy brush, it's just like a little crease brush, and I'm gonna use that same shade underneath my eyes here. Now I'm just gonna take, I actually want to keep it matte on the lid. You could totally add a shimmer on the lid if you want to. I'm just going to take this shade right here, which is technically like a highlight shade, but it doesn't have any shimmer in it. And I'm just going to apply that over my lid. That way we get a little bit of brightness on the lid without the shimmer. And I'm just going to keep the shimmer on the inner corners and like the brow bone. And this is a Delium Tools number 6 brush. It came in this little casing right here. Not sure what the kit is called. It's hard to tell you guys with the Delium Tools because it's like number 1, number 2, number 3, and like all of them are from different kits and they all have 1 and 2 and 3, you know what I'm saying? But they're so affordable that I want to keep using them. Alright, so now I'm just gonna take this deep chocolate brown shade right here, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of this on my lash line just to give a little bit of definition to the lash line. And smoking it out. This is kind of similar to my graduation makeup tutorial, but I just like the idea of like the softness of it, using this technique of instead of eyeliner just doing like a little bit of eyeshadow. Of course in my graduation makeup tutorial I made it a little bit more intense and smoky, and in this one I'm going to keep it pretty dang soft because I'm really just applying this color for like the definition. I also like this technique because it not only does it give the definition, but it gives a little bit of like lift to the eye, since I feel like my eyes are a little bit downturned on the outer corner, which I think that everybody's eyes are to an extent, but that's why I really like this technique because it just kind of gives that little lift to the outer corner of the eye without you working really hard for it. That still looks really soft. But I do want to take a little bit of that underneath as well. Okay, I haven't used this baby in a while, but I used to use this all the time. This is the Milani Brow and Eye Highlighter, and I'm just gonna pop this matte shade. It has like a matte and a shimmer shade, and you can see clearly I love the matte side. I've barely used any of the shimmer side, but I'm just gonna pop that right into the waterline just to give it a little bit of brightness here. Oh, if I can reach. So that just kind of like opens up the eyes a little bit. And now I'm gonna go in with some mascara. If you're gonna be out and about quite a bit, I would recommend doing a waterproof mascara. I, on an everyday basis, reach for the Superfan mascara from Smashbox. This is their new mascara, and I like it because, if you don't know already, every mascara in the world smudges on me, and that one does not, so I've been loving that one. But today I'm gonna try a new mascara. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna try a new mascara. This is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara, which has CBD oil in it, but no, you cannot get high from it. It does not have any THC in it, so CBD oil is supposed to be really conditioning for the lashes, and this packaging feels so nice. It's actually made out of the same metal that they make Lamborghinis out of. I guess whoever designs the Lamborghini like layout or whatever designed this as well, so that's pretty cool. It's pretty luxurious if you ask me. But I'm just gonna apply that on my top and bottom lashes. I really like the way that looks. Like, I feel like it separates and combs my lashes, and the formula just feels so like lightweight. If this does not smudge on me, I will be a very happy camper. It smells really weird, not gonna lie, but I love the way that it's making my lashes look. It doesn't smell like weed, but it smells weird. Alright, so I'm actually going to be applying individual lashes today because I'm fancy. But no, actually I just thought the individuals would probably be the most comfortable in the summer. And they might take a little bit more time to apply since you're literally adding one at a time, but I do think that they will be far more comfortable. And I'll be honest, I've never applied individual lashes to myself. I've applied them on other people many times. It used to be like the only kind of lashes that I applied to other people because I worked at a salon, and that's like the best lashes that we have. Everybody just wanted the individual lashes. So yeah, let's start this. Oh, my House of Lashes lash glue is on its last leg, but I'm gonna be using the House of Lashes lash glue today. But I'm basically just gonna take my tweezers, and I have two different sizes. I have medium, both of these are from Ardell. I have medium lashes, and then I have small lashes, so I'm gonna apply the mediums on the outer corners of my eye, and then the smalls on the inner corners of my eye. And I'm just gonna take that and kind of brush it against the lash glue here. You don't need a lot of it. And I'm just gonna plop that right on my lash line. These are a lot easier to apply than I thought they would be. I'm just literally taking one at a time, because how would you be able to take multiple at a time? I don't know. And plopping them as close to the lash line as possible. I really like the way that these look. They're like giving that little something something, but not too much, you know? A little something something, but not too much. Alright, so I just wanted to show you guys like a little before and after. So this is no lashes, and then this is the lashes. I applied a little bit of mascara over them as well. Yeah, it looks like really, I love it. I think it looks really, really soft, but you still get like that lashy look, you know? Get that little flare on the outer corner. What do you guys think? Alright, I'm gonna go do my other eye off camera, and I will be right back. Alright, I have both sides on. I am liking the way that it looks. What do you guys think? It looks super natural, but so full, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, I'm really liking it. I might do this more often, we shall see. Because it looks really, really natural. Like, I feel like I could be like, oh yeah, no, I'm not wearing any fake lashes. these are just my lashes. That's how I feel right now, but they're still very, very full and kind of wispy. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to my brows now that we're pretty much done with the eyes. That's all I really want to do with the eyes. Keep it really simple. You could add more into the crease if you wanted to, but I'm trying to do as little as possible. And so I'm just gonna move on to doing the rest of my brows. And I'm just gonna take the Sephora flat liner brush. It's the number 25. And I'm gonna take my Anastasia brow pomade in the shade Auburn. This is exactly what I did in my summer get ready with me video. I did with my friend Alvina. And I'm just gonna take that and kind of just fill in any gaps. I'm using like the lightest hand ever, like I'm barely putting any product down because that brow gel already defined and gave a lot of fullness. So I'm just kind of evening out and filling in the gaps, arching it a little bit more right here where I get a little bit more sparse in my brows. And then I'm gonna go in and define the inner lower portion just a little bit more, and then turn that vertically and pull it up into the brow to keep that feathery look. Sometimes I'll pick up a little bit more pomade, do little tiny brow strokes. And then I'm going to go back and comb that a little bit just to soften it, but I like to wait until the product dries a little bit more. So while that's drying, I'm going to go do my other brow. And this is my difficult brow. This one I have to arch a little bit more. Look at this mascara. It's already smudging on me. What the heck? This is why I don't change my mascaras very often. This sucks. I have to take a little tiny bit of that concealer and touch that up. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. It's a life struggle. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to do on the eyes, I was just touching up my glow a little bit since I had to touch up my under eyes, and then I had to add more powder, and then it was a whole circle. Last thing I want to do on my eyes is add that glow on the inner corners. So I'm just going to take the Shape Matters palette, and I'm going to take this shade right here, which is technically a face highlight shade, but we do what we want. I'm just going to take this little crease brush. This is from BH Cosmetics. It says the number 7, and I'm going to take that, pop that into my inner corners, and then bring it onto my brow bone as well, just to continue that glow. And then lastly, for the whole face, we're gonna gloss it up. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this Geoxor Addict Lacquer Plump. So this one actually, I just knocked over some stuff. Anyways. This Geoxor Lacquer Plump, it actually has hyaluronic acid in it. I like this one because it's just a very neutral shade. And I'm just gonna blend it, apply it all over. I love the way this one feels. I definitely feel like it plumps and smooths, but it doesn't have like that stinging plumping. It plumps with the hyaluronic acid, so it's very hydrating as well as plumping. Like after I've worn this for a while, I feel like my lips look really like smooth and just a little bit plumped up and stuff like that. And I like how this one has a little bit of like a metallic reflect. So then once I have that laid down, which look at that finish, isn't it so beautiful? It adds the most beautiful glow because of that metallic reflect. Like it almost looks like gloss, but I am gonna put a little bit of gloss on top. This is the, what is this? Dior Ultra Gloss in the shade 369. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, it's like glassy lips. Okay, so I'm gonna do the Sephora Beauty Amplifier Set and Refresh Spray. I really like this one because it feels really refreshing going onto the skin, and I'm pretty sure it's alcohol free, so it's not drying at all. It's great for like refreshing throughout the day, so not just setting it in place, but then if you feel like you need to kind of spray it and then take a sponge and kind of press everything back into place, it's perfect for that. So I'm gonna take this and just spray it all over. Like it feels cooling almost, which is perfect for summer. It's very important to use a setting spray, especially if you're not using any powder. So make sure that you use a setting spray to set everything in place. All right, you guys, so here is the finished look. pretty simple. I mean, other than the lashes, because the lashes were really the longest part of it, which you could totally skip that on a daily basis. But other than the lashes, it's a pretty simple routine just to kind of wake up our skin, make it look really fresh and glowy, and like we just got like a hydrofacial, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. All right, you guys. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. My husband always makes fun of me because I always say tutorial. I'm saying tutorial, it's just that the T sound is coming out very quickly. I'm not saying tutorial, okay? I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial as much as I did creating it, and if you haven't already, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because what's the point of subscribing if you don't know when I'm gonna upload? Am I right? Stop wasting your time. Hit that subscribe button. If you are not new here, I would like to say thank you for coming back and thank you for your support. So, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you all in Wednesday's wear test. Bye!